Okay guys, welcome back to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to those of you who are new. My name's Kai.
My name is Jam.
And this is What
Do
We Call This. Welcome. Okay, so Jamila's just gonna, slide into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, I'll just give a little brief. So, of course, it's Black History Month. Woo woo. So obviously we're gonna be discussing matters of being Black in this country. I know it's been a while since we've posted anything or posted on our page, but there's just been a lot going on in life. So yeah, but we're back now, and we're gonna definitely do some rebranding and kind of figure out exactly how we're gonna be moving forward with the social media page and everything, just to keep you guys a little more in the loop of what's to come. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, today we're gonna just be discussing Black matters, being Black, all the Blackness, just in every single way. So we're gonna just kind of go with the flow of this conversation. This is not gonna be a structured topic. We're just gonna, let it flow. We're gonna just let it flow today. I thought it would be a great idea to talk about being Black over time, because being Black means it's a very different meaning to me now than when I was a kid. Because obviously when I'm a kid, you have different cares, you have different, priorities, and the world doesn't seem to affect you as much, or so you think, until now you're grown and you're a woman. So it's how has that changed, So I think it's a great idea to talk about that first. I think that would be a good entrance into this conversation. Yeah. So yeah, what was it like for you, being Black, growing up in Toronto? What was that like?
Honestly, I never really had any care or struggle, I should say, in terms of being Black, until I actually started being able to go outside. Going to the mall, late elementary, when you start going to the mall with your friends, when you're allowed to go outside and buy things for yourself. But then I started realizing the whole idea of profiling.
Right.
Going to the mall and just, even if I wasn't buying stuff, we were mall rats.
Kids. Yeah.
Okay, we just go to the mall. That's the hangout spot. Literally just going to the mall just to hang out.
Right.
But obviously we'd end up in stores,
Yeah. Looking around, stuff like that. Yeah.
So you start to get followed in the stores, and then you start realizing what the hell? It gets weird. The white kids, the white volleyball looking girls over there, they're not getting followed. Why are we getting followed? Just different attitude from people. Sometimes when people are asking what do you need? What are you looking for?
Right.
I'm not looking for nothing. I'm just browsing. And they tend to I don't know, you can see their whole demeanor changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're not buying anything? Why are you here?
Yeah.
Or
the over excessive asking if you need help.
100.
You've asked
I see
me
that now.
8 times already. I said I don't need help. If you have something else to say, please do. Otherwise, get the fuck out of my face.
So I never seen that before, but I feel growing up, the older I get, is the more I'm understanding the idea of being Black and Blackness.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. Always feeling like a suspect, even when you're innocent. It's that feeling of when the police drives up beside you and you're I didn't do anything, but I still feel
getting a little nervous.
I'm nervous, or
why anxious? Why
wondering did I do anything? Are they gonna stop me? Just little things like that. It's just yeah, I totally hear that. I'd say for me, because I was born in Jamaica, so it was a lot different than living here. You know you're Black, but it's not something you're thinking about when you're around a bunch of Black people.
100%.
It's not my Blackness isn't what mattered when I was a child. It was a very different dynamic, and obviously growing up in a community that we weren't rich, we were not rich by any means, but you know, those are the things that more so matter, like figuring out what we're gonna have for dinner, like going to school. Like there were different priorities back then, you know. And like when I came to Canada, the culture shock was just crazy, and then assimilating to like these norms, and like I feel like that's when my Blackness started to matter for me, because it was like, you're Black, you know what I mean? Everywhere you go, you're Black.
Okay, yeah, like, for sure.
You know? And that's the first thing like people see, obviously, because it's on my skin, like I'm Black. But it's like, that never mattered when I walked into a room as a child in Jamaica, but it matters now.
Did it give you like a fear once you started to realize it, being here, coming from Jamaica?
You know, I feel like, I would say fear in some ways, but it wouldn't even be fear. It would just be like, you don't always want to feel like you stand out in certain ways. And I think being Black in certain rooms is what makes you stand out. And it's like, I don't have to say anything, but it's like what you see, like I'm Black. So yeah, I would say it definitely like can be just, it can be a thing. Like it can definitely be a thing, But
no, I see that. I feel like for me, it was always like, I feel like I got that a lot when playing sports. Like, everyone expected me to be a basketball player.
Right.
If you know me, you know the backstory of that. We'll get into that another day, though. But I feel like everyone expected me, like, oh, you're a ball player. It's like, no, actually, I'm not. I run track. I actually play volleyball, which isn't quite considered a Black girl sport.
Right.
You know? People expect Black people to be playing soccer or basketball.
Yeah.
Literally. And I didn't, like, I played those for fun, but those were never the sports that I really took seriously.
Right.
So that was my thing. Just like, I feel like being Black and playing sports, and like, you know, when you try out for new teams, you're a little bit nervous, because for me, it was stepping into a room with like skinny white girls.
Right.
Whether that be tall or shorter, but it was skinny white girls, different texture hair, you know, doesn't look the same in the attire. Like, yeah, I was small, guaranteed. I've always been small. I was really tiny, but like just the way things fit on me versus the way things fit on them. Like just their body structure isn't as like, you know, curvy. Yeah. It's like pretty straight. Guaranteed some of the girls are a little bit thicker, but just like being the Black girl on the court with them, because I personally would have considered myself a really good volleyball player, but I feel like for good teams that I wanted to try out for, is really awkward being the only good person that was Black.
Right.
So it definitely made me feel really awkward, but volleyball was always something I loved, so I stayed in tune with it. But it's just like, you know, certain conversations you can't have. Yeah.
Can't make certain jokes.
Yeah. And then I ended up going to pretty much an all Black team. But the dynamic was like so much different. It was just like certain things I could see that all the girls did not have the same mindset the way I feel like an all white team has the same mindset. Like, we were not really on the same page. Like, some of the girls didn't come to practice really often because like they wanted to party, or they had this to do and that to do, and it wasn't really like homework or like, you know, something you should be skipping it for. But I feel like if you want to be on a team that you have your parents paying for or yourself paying for, I don't know who's paying for what, I feel like you have to be able to prioritize school and the game. Like, that's just how it goes. You have to be able to balance the two. And I feel like the mindset of other Black teammates that I have was not the mindset of a fully white team. They balance that very well. I don't know if it's because their parents bring them to practice, you know, like they encourage them more. I don't know what the case is, but I just know that the mindset of our team was very different. And, you know, we did start losing a lot because we didn't practice together all the time. We didn't bond together outside of practice. I feel like the white girls be going wherever together
100%,
and we just didn't have that. So like, I feel like that's another thing too. I feel like Black people don't stick together. I don't know why we don't, but we really do not stick together. And when you show like those type of
like
traits that don't really match with mine, it's like I have no choice but to not want to be around you,
right?
Which makes it very difficult for like Black people to collab and like just stay family, really. So that really, it sucks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Black people need to do a better job of. I think Black people need to hold themselves to like a higher regard. They need to start expecting more of themselves and like believing in themselves. Like I think there's like a big like I hate to say it, but it's like a failure mentality where it's like you're self-sabotaging before it even happens, and like you're not even giving yourself a fair shot to like actually exceed the expectations of Black people. It's like, you could be on a team where it's like, are you gonna put in the work? And it's like, you could win, but you're not doing the work because it's like, what, do you feel like you're not good enough? Do you feel like you're not gonna win anyways? Like, I'm Black, like, I get it.
The case?
But it's like, these are the things that need to change in order for things to change. And like, people need to stick together, work together better. Black people definitely do not know how to work together well. And that's why we suffer, because other communities, like, regardless of how messed up they may be, they stick together. Like, they support each other, they support one another, they don't gatekeep from each other. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to success, I feel like Black people can do a better job of teaching so that everyone can learn and like do better as a community together, because the division is really what's like clashing. This competitive mindset is in the wrong place. It's like, you can be competitive, but it's like you're competing against one another.
Wrong people.
So it's like
against the wrong people.
We're competing against our own people, which is why we continue to fail. And it's like, at the end of the day, where do we think we're gonna go? We talk about, creating Black wealth, like within a community, like in a community sense, like, but we're not doing anything to really get to that point. We're actually doing the complete opposite. And now it's like, there's
what's
so many
crazy?
things.
When Black people when you actually see Black people or Black businesses or whatever the case come together,
yes,
like, the impact is
huge.
Insane.
Huge. It's
actually insane to see what we can do when we work together, especially two Black males or two Black females. When they come together and they put in the work together, like, the damage is like
real shit.
That's what I just don't understand why people don't want to work together with other Black people.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Once you build yourself up that way, you'll see how much impact you actually have.
Right.
So, we need to start doing that more.
I agree. It needs to. Something's got to give. Like, at this point, something has got to give. And even like, for me too, same thing. Like, in general, having a business is really hard, but like having a Black-owned business is even harder, because it's like, to build a rapport, especially with other demographics, can be really hard. But these are all things that take time. But I feel like that's when collabs should come into play with other Black businesses, to like really put your names out there and like, branch out. Like, those are the things that should be mattering. But it's like, no, like, I want all the fame. I want all the success. I want it. It's like, there's more than enough to go around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, this is just me and me alone. Like, I'm going to gatekeep this. I'm not going to tell people where I got this resource, because I want that resource all to myself. And it's like,
I'm not going to lie, I gatekeep.
No, girl, I know you gatekeep clothes, whatever. Like, this bitch, you asked where did you get those boots? Not telling. It's like, I'm gonna just take a picture. I'm gonna just go on Google, image search, and I'm gonna find the friggin' boots. I'll do the work myself.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really, really bad at that. I'm trying to be better, but it's like, also like, I'm
Why do
only
you
better
gatekeep,
for
though?
certain people. Because, bro, I just feel like I want my shit to myself.
Wait, but like, okay. What if someone were to have gotten something that you have, and then wear it when you have worn it, like, but unknowingly?
What do you mean?
Like, what if I was wearing the same tracksuit as you today, but like,
oh no, I don't have a problem with that.
No,
Sometimes
no.
I'm like, oh, ain't that cute? Look at us trying to twin. Like, you know, I don't really, like, if you found it on your own, like, kudos.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to never tell anybody where I even get my hair done.
You're crazy.
Because, like,
So what people can't look good? You're the only one who can't look good?
find your people. Find your people. There's
But what
lots
if them
of-
want your people?
But that was my thing. I didn't want to give out the information. If you found it on your own, or if you're close enough to me, I'd tell you.
Oh, so you're just selfish.
Yeah, I am selfish. Yeah, I am selfish. I don't care. I don't give a... Now I'm not like that, though. Like, now
I think
tag
good clothes,
places
like,
and
I
stuff
get
like that.
it. Like, unless you're, but, I mean, if you're really trying to get into the influencer shit, though,
I need to get in my bag
gonna have
and
to
do
change.
it. Yeah, I know. But you see, I honestly be tagging and I be telling people, I'm not gonna lie, but certain things that I know
You just want to keep to yourself.
Yeah.
I get it.
when I get things for a lower price. Sorry.
I mean, like, gatekeeping in terms of, like, I don't really care about the clothes. It's just more so, like, why would you gatekeep? Yeah, like, why would you gatekeep, like, an ebook on how to be a better black business?
Yeah.
Like, send me the fucking
Just like
ebook.
knowledge.
Send me the information so I can work and get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta gatekeep that. It's just, like, petty. Like, that to me is, like, you really just don't want to see me do well. Like, an outfit's whatever. Like, I'll find it eventually. I'll just search it up until I find it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, knowledge
come
is power.
on.
Knowledge is
Yeah.
power. So if we're gatekeeping knowledge and you're the only black, let's say you're the only black successful business in Toronto, and you're gatekeeping, like, just the knowledge of knowing how to get there, or, like, you know, you've definitely been turned down before. You've heard no. You know, like, those are things that's just going to happen. Tell your story. Explain your story. Let other people know, you know, what to expect. At the end of the day, everyone's business is going to be different based on their drive, based on their knowledge, and just based on their determination. So it's never going to be the same ever. You may have had an easier time than I've had, vice versa. So it's never going to be the same. But just telling you to know what to expect, or to try this route rather than going this route to
there's
not
nothing
waste
wrong
time.
with that. Why would you, like,
Not.
and I'm like so big on that too. I'm like, you know, there's so many things I've been through, and I'm like, when I talk to my friends, if you're telling me about a scenario I feel like I've been through and I'm advising you otherwise, like, why would I want to sit down and listen to you take the high road, like, and then end up suffering for nothing, when I can just give you I can lay it out for you right here so that you don't waste your time. Like, might as well, you know?
It's almost like doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
That part.
Why are we doing this?
That part.
So, guaranteed some people need to learn on their own.
For sure. And you know what? It's a stubborn people, and it does happen a lot.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people I know who, like, I will, you know, give advice to, and they don't take it. And then exactly what I say will happens. And then it's like, oh, you were right. And I'm like, I know. I literally told you. But okay, now what are you gonna do about it? Are you going to do the solution that I gave to you?
Are you gonna do your own solution?
Or are you gonna try and figure it out? Like, either way though, it's fine, because clearly you got to figure it out yourself. But I'm like, yeah, you know, sometimes you just can't waste your breath though.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, sometimes it's like, okay, all right,
100%.
cool.
I actually have a question. This is kind of going backwards to you saying about, like, the lifestyle change of being black when you were at home versus being here in Canada now. I want to know, because I remember we talked about, like, the whole situation of, like, wearing shoes and, like, saying, like, you know, what the fuck, why are we wearing shoes, or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, did any culture shock happen for you as a black person? coming from Jamaica to Canada or to Toronto?
I think everything. I think the biggest thing was the way they speak. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like,
but like within Black people?
Yeah, well, within like Jamaica, I guess, I don't know, Jamaican people, as far as I knew, like, we would use different words for different things. Or like, we say your hair is tall, not long. So it's like just those little things. Or like, people say here, stick out your tongue. In Jamaica, they say long out your tongue. So it's like those little things that you say that are different, or it's like, people act like they don't know what you mean when they obviously know what you mean. But it's like you're not saying it correctly, so it's like,
I'm gonna
learn proper English, and it's like, well, you clearly understood what I was saying to tell me that it doesn't make sense what I'm saying. So how about you just stop being ignorant to the fact that I have a different upbringing, a different background, a different language than you, or not? Probably not. But I would say, yeah, that, and like, I think the way the kids played differently, and like, yeah, even the shoe thing. Like, listen, I used to run around barefoot as a bush child. Okay, I didn't even like wearing shirts. I was a tomboy. I didn't wear shoes. I ran around with boys. We were like jumping off things, like popping my toe, getting injuries, getting cuts. I did not care. You know, it was different there. I mean, mind you, like, there were some girls who were like girly girls, and like they didn't really like run around like that. But I loved running around. Like, that was my shit. Running around in the dirt, in the mud, you know, just having,
you good.
like, just being a child, like, you know. But coming here, it's like, gotta keep your clothes clean. And I'm like,
what age
can't
did
they
you
just
come
be
here
washed? I was 9 when I came. It's like, clothes can just wash, no? Like, I don't understand. But, yeah, I don't know. I think just everything, excuse me, everything was a culture shock. It's just, I think it's that realization that, oh, like, my life is going to be a lot different now than what it was before, because things here are so different, you know? I can't necessarily act the same. I feel like I had to filter myself, right? You have to filter yourself to a degree in order to kind of like assimilate or blend into like this new community that's so different than what you're used to. So it's like you find yourself kind of slowly just like taking back pieces of yourself in a way, and just like, okay, let me just put that in the box, you know, put that in the box.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah, so I would say, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, major culture shock.
Yeah.
And like growing up too, like over the years, you see the difference in like how men act here versus like back home, and like, I mean, just these days in general, just men. That's a whole
different topic.
That's a whole other thing. That's just like, I just have no. I have too many words to the point I have no words. It's just like, why, you know? Like, I just, every day, my flabbers are gasted when it comes to men. Every single day. Every single day. Every day, every encounter on social media, anything. I go online, you know, men are acting up. I see my friends in person, men are acting up. Every time, it just gotta be a man acting up. And honestly, it don't even really matter the race, but black men, y'all need to do better.
Better.
You gotta do better. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Why do you guys gotta do better? I mean, like, what do we do? Like, because we're always talking about black men, like, black men, yo, like, fix up, like, hey. Yeah, fix up.
The side.
Like, yo, like, what do you mean? Like, you guys just love to shit on us. You like to shit on us. No, we don't. But we actually.
I love black men.
We actually try every way to not. Like, we try to be on your side so bad, but you just make it so easy
hard
to
be on your side. So hard to be on your side.
Like, I just want to know, like, when did y'all become so comfortable? And I think that's the problem, you know? And I think in a general sense, but because it's Black History Month, we're speaking about the black community. So I don't want to see no comments about why y'all attacking us, because I promise I'll block it. Okay? Sit down and listen. If it digs deep, if it hurts that bad, then it applies to you. So go change.
Yeah, I was about to say, you
go
need to look in the
change,
mirror
okay?
real quick, 'cause...
But when did we lose respect for women? That's the question, black men. When? When did we lose the respect for black women, I feel like? And I think in a general sense, yes. Everyone needs to do a better job when it comes to respecting one another, men and women in general. Like I could sit here and talk about a million ways black women can be better as well. Yeah, like we're not perfect, but I'm speaking to the black men specifically. Like, when did the level of respect go down or deplete when it comes to like black women? You know?
I just want to know if it's like something that you guys have just had a mental change about or realization in your ideas, or is it your upbringing? Like, where did this disrespect even like come
like
from?
stem from?
Yeah.
I feel like over the years of seeing like different scenarios, I feel like
I've seen 100 scenarios.
Yeah, you know, I think there's different things, but I feel like social media does not help at all in like, you know, the degrading of black women, over sexualization of black women, where it's like a lot of times you're just viewed as like an object. And I mean, like, I get that a lot because my ass is big and like my boobs are big, you know, like my curves are there, like everything is there, but it's like that's what you see first. But it's like that's also what you allow to lead your interaction with me. You don't decide to push that to the side and try to actually get to know me. You just assume like, yeah, like she's DTF, like, oh, she's thick, like let me see, like, you know, what I can get from her. But it's like, what happened to like genuinely getting to know people? Like courting, taking women on dates. Like no men wants to take women on dates anymore because you guys feel like you just want us for what we have. It's like, well, not exactly, but if you're talking about dating, yes, you should pay. Yes. And I'm looking at you while I say this.
I just feel like if you want to get at, like, the idea of a woman chasing a man is like the wrong mentality. We should not.
And that's not even the right order.
It is you show initiative. Show effing initiative, bro. And that is your way to show initiative. Bro, if you don't want to take me on a dinner date, take me on a different date.
Yeah,
Let me get to know you.
That's the thing.
Like, we don't always have to go to dinner.
You guys think it's just we want a free meal. Like,
I can feed myself.
It's literally not always.
We don't want the meal, okay? It's not about the meal.
It's
no
not even
effing initiative. That's what you guys don't have. You guys don't have no damn initiative. You guys probably had fucking satisfactory S on your report cards, okay? Like, I don't know what it is, but just show initiative. It's not that hard. Like,
I agree. I think the whole idea... Yeah, the whole idea that's wrapped around like, oh, women only want to go on a date so they can like use your money up. But it's like, at the end of the day, what does the Bible say? He who finds a wife, man, black man, man, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And it's not to say like women shouldn't do work. I know that. You know, like we have our own set of things that we should be doing as well. You know, and I believe 100%. The right woman who's walking in her purpose should do that. But this conversation really, like, the only answer is if you're not a man who's in his purpose, walking in his purpose, then you're never going to understand the context that we're coming from of, like, put in the effort, put in the work. You know, if you're walking in your purpose, you know that, you know what? Naturally, men are providers. Yes, women provide in different ways. Women are nurturers. Like, you know, you give us a house, we make it a home. Like, we have different roles to play, and I definitely believe in roles. But it's like, in the beginning, if you're approaching me with a certain energy, like, I need to see you follow through with that. You know, you can't be saying, oh, I want to do this, that, and the third. And then it's like, when it comes to actually doing it, it's a problem. Like, oh, why aren't we splitting? Oh, why do I always have to get the bill? Oh, like, well, like, we're on a date. Like, and we're in the early stages of a date, I feel like, yeah, you know, when you're my man, or if there's something I really want us to do and that's an idea I present, then maybe I'll pay for that. But even then, a real man isn't gonna let you pay regardless.
Facts.
Regardless, even if it's like, babe, I really want us to go here. Like, let's go to Sip and Paint, You know, like, let's go. It's like, okay, you let me know when you want to go, and I'll send you the money for the tickets. Don't even worry about paying for the tickets yourself. It's just little things like that. And as I said, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And you're going to just keep being mad until, I guess, one day you realize and learn.
If you do.
If you realize and learn. But it's like, I just want to see healthier relationships within the Black community between men and women. You know what I'm saying? I think the over-sexualization of Black women's bodies needs to stop. Like, even for me, like, there's certain rooms I walk in, I feel extremely uncomfortable. I know how much body I have. I know what's behind me. Okay? I know what it's got. I know it's heavy. I know it can be a lot sometimes. I get it, you know, especially walking in certain rooms where it's like, maybe I'm walking into a party, for example, and it's like the majority of women, sometimes even Black women, who may not have that kind of body, you can immediately feel the shift in energy when you walk into the room. You know, you really take the attention of certain people in the room, and it's like, I could be wearing a paper bag, but it's like the body ain't gonna hide. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a thing that should not be a thing, because I feel like we really need to stop looking at women for what we just see here. Like, it's not cool. You know what I mean? It's not healthy, and it's not how we should be raising young Black boys to overly like sexualize Black women's bodies, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, it's not it.
I think that also goes towards like what women do to try to attract men with their bodies.
Yes.
Like, are you working out for yourself?
Yes.
Are you working out for others? Are you getting your body done for yourself? Or is it because you want 100%. To appear more sexier
100%.
to others? Like,
yes.
facials, like everything in general.
You know, you're so right about that, because it's like, yeah, I feel like it's totally fine. Like, I go to the gym. I go because I want to have the nicest thighs and ass in the world. But also,
I want to look good in that bathing suit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing it obviously for myself. Like, I want to get rid of this belly. I want to feel good when I have no clothes on. You know what I'm saying? And when I have clothes on, it's going to look even better. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting your body nice, because you want like your partner to obviously be attracted to you physically. It's important.
100%.
But it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna like let myself go.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm doing it for myself, but that's just an added benefit of going to the gym, you know, doing my makeup, doing my hair. But yes, like, you're so right that women need to dress better. You know, it's not every day skin out, skin out. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and a place for everything. And I feel like we don't always do the best job of portraying that specific like image, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, little girls look up to it. I'm like, yo, when did like grade 8 start wearing a full face of makeup to school? When did grade 8 start wearing BBL sweaters and like getting lash extensions?
Yeah, I was not doing that.
What?
I don't even do that.
Yo, when I was in grade 8, I wore eyeliner, brown eyeliner with no mascara. No eyebrows filled in. I barely even had brows. I have like really thin brows. But you guys, I wore brown eyeliner and Vaseline on my lips.
No, because ain't that the truth?
And I straighten my hair, catch it up in a one. And I thought I was that bitch. Okay? Now I'm literally here like, yo, I can't even. Are you even grade 8?
I'm saying nobody looks their age anymore.
Nobody looks their age.
That's just everything that's just like put out in this generation. It's totally different.
Yes.
Totally different. Like,
yes.
When I don't know if this is just because I was younger or if because I'm a child of a Black father. I don't really know, but I could not even have any type of anything reddish. I could not paint my nails red. Not my toes, not my nails, nothing. Red, anything reddish, burgundy, whatever. No, it's a no. I I really could not. I couldn't even have like weave or like extensions literally until like high school. Like I just wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
And even when I did in high school, I did it because like I had my own money at that time. You know, I had my own social media. I could reach out to people on my own. I did it behind their backs and went and got a weave. Like, okay, nobody knew. I went and I got a weave on my own. I went to the hair store and I bought my own hair and I messaged the girl and I booked an appointment. Okay, and I gave her all cash and everything. Like, did I even have a bank account? I probably did, but I probably couldn't use it because my mom could see everything I was doing in my bank account at that time. So I went behind their back and I did it.
I'm screaming.
And yeah, they were pissed because imagine you just come out one day and your hair is in a weave.
Yeah.
Like, where did you get your hair done? My mom was booking my hair appointments. My dad was booking my braid ups.
Yeah.
Like, mom's like, in high school, why am I going to school with a braid up?
Yeah. I get it.
Like, it's just the idea behind everything.
And even that too, I feel like communication between Black parents and children need to be better as well.
100%.
And it's like, I totally agree. I think it's very important for Black girls to dress their age. Especially like for me, my body developed young. Like I always had a body, and you know, even like in school I was sexualized. Like, and those are things that should not happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't control how I look, but I definitely tried to control what I wore, you know? Covered up a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with modesty, you know? And even that's, like, something I'm continuously working on, just being more modest. It doesn't... Like, I can still look sexy and covered. You know, I can
100%.
still look good and covered. It doesn't... Like, you can leave something for the imagination at times, you know? I think there's... As I said, there's a time for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to a dinner, I don't need to be... like super skin out for dinner, like, you know what I'm saying? I could still put on something elegant and I'd still look good. You know, you can still turn heads wearing clothes, and I think that's something a lot of women and Black women need to realize as well. You know, like, yeah.
You know what that also makes me think about?
What?
One thing, I don't know if this is just the Black community, but I just see it happen so often in the Black community. I actually hate it. Men need to stop lying on women.
Okay, tell me more.
Women that dress sexy and you've talked to, you don't need to lie and tell people you had sex with her. You don't need to, just because she presents that
and
part,
she didn't want to give it to you.
Yeah, doesn't mean you're going to get it out of me every time, first of all, or at all.
Yeah.
I don't need to be sexual with you at all. That is that's to what I want. I don't need to give you everything you want of me. Yeah. Just because you're talking to me or you know me or you want to get to know me, allegedly. Like, that, I think that's even happened to me. And it's so annoying.
Yeah, and it's hurtful.
People will believe it just because you dress a little cleavage out, or you know, like, first of all, I'm small.
Yeah,
it didn't really matter to me how sexy I dress, but everybody knows I dress a little not too modest. Yeah,
and that's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're comfortable with your body and you're comfortable with wearing certain things. And it's like, it's not an everyday thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, if you feel like wearing something a little more revealing, you'll do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's true. That doesn't mean that's an excuse to have these expectations of me, of women. Like, because I hate the culture of people being like, well, why would you wear that then? What, like, what does that even mean? Yeah, I didn't have to wear it for someone else. Yeah, it's like, I'm not wearing it for someone else. Like, I'm wearing it because I want to wear it. It's a matter of, like, once again, we need to respect Black women more. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, me meeting you and you thinking I'm cute does not give you, that's not a gateway to you assuming that I want more from this interaction than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, recently I even had a client who I've been texting actually, but because, you know, we were like getting to know each other a little bit, but he also wanted to get a facial done because, like, I do facials and like services like that. So You know, I was like, wow, like, that's so kind of you to support my business. Like, thank you. You know, like, I figured that he probably, you know, had a crush on me, which was, like, totally fine, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like, I don't mind texting, getting to know you vibe, but not once did I give the impression that I want anything from you, you know? And, like, after the facial, starting to get really, like, touchy-feely and caressing me, like, when did we get so comfortable to just assume that is the interaction that we're looking for? It's like, not once did I give that energy, not once did I state anything like that. So why are we just going ahead and assuming that this is what it needs to be? And it's like, men ruin opportunities for themselves a lot by doing that. Because it's like, how do you just learn to be patient and wait and just...
You guys would have so much more coming
you know what I'm saying? And it's like...
just
waited. Like, just be patient. And it's like, at the end of the day, I also don't owe you shit. I don't owe you anything. You're not my man. I barely even know you. You know, we just started talking. Like, what makes you think that I want to have that kind of interaction with you? Have some respect. It's like, I can respect your personal space. You respect mine. Just off of the first meetup, you're already, you know, caressing, rubbing me up. Like, do you not have any shame?
At all.
Like, and that's, I think the older I'm getting, that's what I'm, like, realizing more. It's just so baffling that it's like, people are so comfortable to just do whatever they want, you know? And it's like, at what expense? Like, at the expense of the other person's feelings, like, emotions. And it's just very degrading to do something like that to people in a general sense. Like, don't do that. Don't put your hands on people. Don't touch women. You know what I'm saying? Just because I look good, do not touch me.
100%.
If I'm not telling you to touch me, keep your hands off. Look, but don't touch, okay? Unless I'm giving you that vibe and I consent to that. Because we love to act like we don't know what that word means. The big C, consent, yes. A lot of you need to hear that word. Consent is real. Coercion is real, okay? You wearing women down is real as well. You continuously asking over and over again until they give in. You're wearing them down to the point where they accept it and they agree. Even if they still don't want to. But because you're so friggin' annoying. Yeah, I had to say that twice.
Some people,
some of you
also
really
have to
need
understand
hear
that
it.
some people actually don't know how to say no. That's another thing too. You can not feel comfortable and still not give off the vibe that you don't feel comfortable. Like, that's a thing. People don't know how to say no. Or even
not saying no, but like being like, I'm good.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
that
they don't
means
know how
no
to draw the
as
line.
well.
They don't know how to draw the line.
Like, I'm okay for now. It doesn't have to be like, no, don't touch me, nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it could be...
It doesn't have to be aggressive
good.
like that.
You know, it could be like, stop, like, whatever, like, you know.
Yeah. And that's not playful.
It's just, like...
Sometimes
it's playful. But once again, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll
if you
know
read
the vibes.
There's nothing more to say. If you could read the room, and people just need to pick up more on social cues. Because... And if even in a sense where it's playful, just the fact that there might be an alternative to that, ask.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real for a second because I don't want to overstep. Is this something you want? Like, it's not normalized, so it may feel awkward or uncomfortable, but bro, do you want the allegation of like non-consensual sex or rape or anything? Just because you didn't want to have a awkward or normalized conversation?
Yeah.
I don't want that on my name personally. I'm not a man, but if I was, I would not want that on my name. So I'm going to ask the questions I need to ask to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
100%.
No matter how horny I am. Because y'all be horny.
And I'm like, and that's the other thing. A man who does not have control of his sexual energy, a man who's not disciplined sexually, you will always fail at everything. If you can't control your PP, then you're not going to succeed in life.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, your sexual energy is the strongest energy that courses through your body. And there's so much more you can do with it other than have sex.
Trust.
And I think a lot of men need to realize that. Do not let your penis lead you. Learn to control your penis. Learn to control your sexual urges. Learn to control how much you bust a nut. Learn to control how much you have sex. Like, listen, I'm telling you, when you can focus and you have that discipline surrounding sex, your mind is like sharp. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is so much more sharp. You have so much more control over the things you do and like just everything. Just everything. Learn to control your sexual energy. Learn to control it, or it will control you every single time and get you in situations that you may not be able to get out of. So
trust.
Just, yeah.
Okay, I know you guys probably think we're like leaning completely off track.
I know. But you know what? That's all.
But I honestly see that more in black men.
Yes.
Than I do with the encounters that I've had with even like Latinas, like Spanish.
Yeah, like
men,
Latino men.
Even with females, like I've seen it more in black men than I've seen 100%. It in any other race or gender, okay?
Yeah, everything we've been speaking about is
still
geared towards the black community. Yeah. And it's like, these are specific things that we've all noticed, and I know we have. And as I said, like, I'm not sitting here like shitting on black men and saying like they're horrible. But being a black woman, I think it's important in this conversation that we do speak of these specific things surrounding black men. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we touched on a few things too with women, but the conversation is specifically catered to that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not here to be like, oh, I hate black men. But I think black men could do a lot better.
Yeah, I want better for them too. I'm a black woman.
Exactly. And you have to want it for yourself. Yeah. You have to want better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always say, like, if you have a son, like, what would you tell your son? How would you show your son to treat a woman? You know, to treat their mother? Like, do you respect your mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are so, like, people don't realize the importance of these things. And that's the reason why, like, generation after generation after generation, we have these shitty black men and women. Because we're afraid to be honest. We're afraid to be uncomfortable. We're afraid to get backlash. Honestly, I don't give a shit. People are gonna talk regardless whether you're doing good or bad, whether you say something positive or negative. It's okay. It's okay to call out your friend who's doing some fuck shit. It's okay to call out your friend who is not taking their life serious enough. When, you know, hold them accountable. We need to hold each other accountable and ourselves accountable. Okay? Teach your children the right ways to interact with black men versus black women. You know what I'm saying? Like, teach your kids. They're going to be the next generation. So teach them and teach them well so that the cycle of hurt doesn't continue, because it's like the black community, there's too much pain and too much hurt, you know, because we don't talk enough. We don't talk about it. It's just anger and, like, you know, it's just a lot of negative emotion.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, that doesn't have to be that way if we just communicate it or learn to communicate with each other.
That isn't real.
It ain't gotta be what it is now. It could change.
That isn't real.
It could change.
Yeah, instilling new traditions, like even just conversations, is so important.
Yeah.
So important. Definitely see that.
I was just thinking about how, like, you know, Trump got reinstated as president or whatever, and how apparently he's trying to, like, cancel Black History Month or whatever. And I'm like, how does one even do that?
I'm saying,
like, how do you just like always trying to turn the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? I'm just like, how does one just do that? You don't just cancel Black History Month.
Bro, it's literally just like writing history and like just erasing everything.
It's like, no, it's literally just paper. You like Black History Month and just crossing it out.
Like,
because you can't, it's impossible to cancel Black History Month.
Yeah.
How do you even do that? Like, I literally, if he had like 100-page printout of exactly the steps of canceling Black, I would read it because I'm curious. Because that doesn't even make sense. I'm not even
curious. It sounds like bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
I'm not even reading it. Forget it. Like, you're so lost. I don't even know what to say.
Like you're just so, doesn't make any sense.
He's literally in like his own like world. I don't even understand how your mind goes to the where his mind goes. Like, I'm so baffled and speechless when it comes to him, because like you really don't think you'll get any more shocked, and then he does some shit or says some shit, and you're just like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like,
when I read that, I just threw my phone down.
Okay,
like,
so
let's be so for real.
Do you so if Black History Month gets canceled, how do you think everyone's gonna react to that? Do you even think anyone's gonna follow?
No, I think
suit?
People love to do the opposite of what people say.
Trust.
So it's gonna be Black people retaliating, but in more positive ways, I think. Posting on social media, having Black rallies, Black events, this and that, supporting Black businesses. I think they're gonna just do it overdrive. But what breaks my heart is like situations like this only happen if something's at stake. Like, we can't just ever just support each other regardless of what's going on. It has to be like, you know what I mean? It's like, why can't we just have Blackness in overdrive just at any given time? Why does it have to be if something's happening?
Yeah.
That's when we're gonna like stand firm together. And it's like in moments like that in history, when Black people do that, look how successful it is. If only we could just have that mentality regardless.
For life.
You know what I mean? Like, if we could just have that mentality regardless, then we would be flourishing. Like, we would be.
I wouldn't even be here right now. Like,
flourishing, like, come on now.
Yeah. But, I personally, I don't even think Black History Month even does enough. So the fact that
and it's the shortest month in the year.
So the fact that we're sitting here trying to like cancel it just makes absolutely no sense to me at all.
Foolishness.
Like, let's be real. Brands use this as a publicity stunt. We start to see more interactions and just more from Black people during this time of the year, which is like absolutely ridiculous to me. But I don't know. I don't see this month being any different than any other month for me personally.
Right.
I don't know if that means I'm less involved. I don't know what it means. But I just feel like February does not change from January. February doesn't change from December. February doesn't change from May. Like, nothing changes for me personally. I just hear about it more during this month than I do any other month.
Yes. Which is so crazy. And it's to think about like all the contributions Black people have made to America and even Canada. That's just not talked about.
Like,
that is like, even as a Black woman now, I don't even know all the Black people who've had such positive impact on my own country.
Because we're learning about
Because we don't even learn about it. We learn about colonizers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
ridiculous.
Now, obviously I'm going to have to do my due diligence and go do my own research. And you know what I mean? But it's like, what a shame that those things aren't even taught to us.
Yeah.
In school. Yeah. What a shame that we have to go out of our way to find out that information when it's like, how are we going to just skip right over it? So this happened in history. Then this Black person should have been after that. But you're going to just completely skip over that go to the next white person.
Ridiculous.
Like, so it's just embedded so deep institutionally. Just it's sad.
Yeah.
But that's the reality, and like
of life.
That's why when it comes to even children, I'm like, I want to learn as much as I can so that when I teach my children about Black history, it's true and authentic history, where it's like they don't have to question who they are. Like, they know their history.
Ooh,
you know what I'm
that's a
saying?
big one.
Like, they know. It's like, actually, no, you're wrong. Like, this is what this Black person did, and this is how they actually died. The way that you guys are even claiming some Black people die ain't even be true, because y'all be murdering them and then claiming that, oh, this happened or that happened. Like, let's get real. Let's just be real with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. And like, till this day, it's like we're so desensitized to this idea of murder within the Black community that it's like to a point now I don't even feel anything anymore when I see it. Like, it hurts, but I'm so numb to it that it's like every time I go on Instagram, some other black person's dying.
This goes right back to just wanting better for
you know what
yourself.
I'm saying? It's like, stop killing one another, and white people need to stop killing black people.
Period.
Police, stop brutalizing. That's a word, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stop brutalizing black people to make sure. And like, you're murdering people's families. Like, that's someone's dad. That's someone's husband. That's someone's son. That's someone's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's someone's friend. And same thing with women. That's someone's mom. You know, that's someone's aunt. Like, let's be so for real right now.
You know what's crazy? So my work actually just had a meeting and presented a presentation to the Toronto police, actually.
Oh, wow.
And one of the biggest things we talked about was interaction. Interaction between, and this is not just like black men, this is also black women. You know, this is also women who have been through domestic situations. This is women who may have had bad relations with their parents, and now have no guardian, or a guardian that didn't birth them. Like, you know, there's situations like that already trigger an individual. So police need to proceed with caution and like empathy when they're going to
empathy,
like when they're going to these calls that they're getting, when they're going to report on it or whatever. Those interactions, that's like the first step. If I'm a black woman and I keep seeing what police are doing to everyone, and not even how they're brutalizing.
See, I told you.
Brutalizing. Not even how they're brutalizing men, what they're doing to women as well. It's like, if I know that a police is knocking on my door, I don't want to answer. And when I talk to you, I don't know if I'm going to come up with an attitude, or I'm just going to try to proceed with caution because I know how you guys are. That's like your first step as a policeman, to come into a situation and try to digress. Like, make this interaction an important interaction, so that I don't have to think about that way about you guys again. Or I can question the way that I thought about you guys because we had such a good interaction, or just a positive interaction. So that's what we were talking about too, because I just feel like, I understand they have to do their job, and you know, they're not supposed to be like all lenient and whatever.
But you don't have to have a stick up your ass.
Like I'm saying, we do not need to be aggressive every moment of the day. We don't need to have an attitude and be effing rude, because I'm a person just like you. And if I give you attitude, you're going to get mad. Just like if you're giving me attitude, I'm going to get pissed off.
Yeah. I think it's, at the end of the day, it's an abuse of power.
Like,
and it's
too
like,
much
just
authority,
because you're an authority figure, it doesn't mean that, just because you're an authority figure, it doesn't mean that you have to abuse your power. It doesn't mean you have to use that as a means to like walk over people and just treat them like shit.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's not cool. Like, that just needs to, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Once again, I said it's so institutionalized.
Yeah,
so
that's like so much work has to be
that
done to
needs to just completely be uprooted and redone. And it's like, we just need transparency to happen in order for that to even happen.
That's a big one.
The transparency there.
That is a big
we're going to be waiting on that for a while, because once again, these are battles we've been fighting for centuries. For years and years, our ancestors had to deal with this. Their ancestors had to deal with this, right? So it's like, how moving forward can we change this narrative to be better, so that our children don't have to necessarily worry about the same things we have to worry about. Like, why is it intergenerational that when I see a police, I feel anxious? And that's every black person. And I remember when I started driving, because I've only been driving now like just over a year or so, like maybe a little more than a year, like a year and a half. And like, I never understood what that anxiety was like, being a passenger, but being a driver, you know, having that anxiety. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And one day I remember I was talking to my ex-boyfriend, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, do you ever just like randomly feel anxious when police come up to you? Like, even if they're just beside you, you didn't do anything. He's like, yeah, you're just black. And he said that's so chill. Yeah, casual. So nonchalant. And it's like, that's not something that should be so nonchalant, you know? 100%. It's like, once again, it's so embedded in us that it's just viewed as a normal thing. Like, that's not normal. And I think that was a plan to instill fear through generations, where it's like your kids know that the word police just does not mean a good thing. They've heard their daddy talk about it, their grandpa talk about it. Now it's like embedded, where it's like naturally we're built to be scared of the police, and it's like that's not how it should be. You know. Yeah,
Literally, you guys are just there to make sure that rules are still followed.
Yeah.
Like, that's
you're supposed to keep the peace. That's literally your job.
That's literally it. So the fact that it's coming to like respect me because I have this authority is like just honestly ridiculous. We should be working together as a community. We should be working together as people in this world,
right,
who want better for the world,
right,
for the outcome of this country, the city, whatever the case may be. The authority thing be going to people's heads. That's not even like everyone in authority, like higher authority like that. You guys let the power get to your head, and you guys continue to like instill the same exact things, and it's no different. And
it's all about control. Even it's just like a means to control, right? Because like once you can control someone's mind and have them fear the police, like this, that, and the third, once it's like embedded, they already have control. Like you control how they act, you control the things they do, you control the fears they have. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like the same dynamic even with Black women in the healthcare industry. Like Black women, the high mortality rates in death after having a baby, like because how are Black women just dying? Like, should it not be the same standard of care they give to a white woman? Why is it that Black women are dying days after having kids, immediately after having children?
Scary.
Why are Black women not being taken seriously when they say they're in pain? Like, why are medical schools teaching that Black women have a higher pain tolerance than other races of women? Like, why is that even a thing? Like, why are we not taking Black pain seriously? Why are we just assuming that, oh, they're fine,
it's tolerable,
they don't need it? Like, what makes us different than any other race? Like, how, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that even make sense? Even this whole theory that Black people have thicker skin, like, who told you that?
No, seriously.
that we have thicker skin,
seriously?
like we can handle pain. Like, yeah, we've built an endurance because we've had no choice, but that's very different than just
y'all just come up with
like,
the most exaggerated excuses,
like bull,
for
just
things.
Foolishness.
It's actually insane. The fact that you can say this out your mouth and actually think that it's like really true is like even more insane to me.
Yeah, like that's the gag right there.
Like,
that's the gag.
You said that and it sounded good coming out your mouth.
Yeah. So you went with it. You ran with it.
That's crazy.
But that's why I'm like, honestly, when I have kids, like, you know, if I really have children, I don't want to have my kids in a hospital. And I mean, I have lupus, so I will be considered a high risk pregnancy regardless. But listen, I don't care. I am not having my child in a hospital. Okay? My body.
We gonna make it happen, girl.
Like,
sorry.
Periods. But no, you know, our bodies are built to do this. Like, and I think over the years we've forgotten that. Like, a woman's body was made to birth a child. Your body, literally, everything is engraved in your body, in your cells, to know what to do when your body pushes out a baby. You know, you don't even really have to push. Your body naturally urges you, like, to contract. Like, that's what contractions are eventually. Your body will push the baby out. You know, all these ways they get women to, like, deliver is, like, causing more damage, causing more tearing, like, going against your body's natural order of doing things. And then it's like, Black women now, they're not even receiving the proper care and post-care to actually make sure they're okay.
I'm saying,
you know,
this world
it's
is
sad.
so scary.
Yeah, because it's like, you're really telling me that I could really lose my life giving birth to my child. Like, I won't even get to experience my child. And that's the reality for so many Black families out there. You know, like, let's be so for real.
That is, I keep saying it, but honestly, that is like the scariest thing of like life.
Yeah.
That is so scary.
Like, think about it, you guys. Like, these are fears we have. Like, for the white women who watch, are these fears you have? And I know, like, childbirth in general is the most dangerous thing anyone can do. You know, like,
sure.
That's literally life or death. But it's like the chances of mortality are even higher for Black women just because of the fact that we're black. You know what I'm saying? As a white person, you can expect to receive the best care, the best supports. You know what I'm saying? But as
like
a Black
if something
woman,
goes wrong, they're gonna do what they need to.
Yeah, they're gonna take the extra steps. They're gonna go the extra mile to ensure that.
Imagine seeing on the news white women are dying from pregnancy. Imagine that.
Yeah. So it's like, that's why I say, like, this topic we could talk for hours and hours, because it's like there's always something.
Yeah, it's embedded in literally something, everything.
You know, in every aspect of our lives, our Blackness will be something that stands out. And that's what I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter what room you walk into, as long as you're Black, being in a country that's not like, yes, it's very multicultural and there's a lot of Black people, but it's not a Black country.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, your skin is always going to stand out, 100%. Whether you like it or not. So I think, like, as I said, we could have rambled on for hours, but I feel like, unless there's anything else you wanted to add.
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah.
So, this is my biggest thing that we kind of already talked about before, but what do you feel like men can do to, or why do you feel like men keep staying in the stigma of being hood?
Wow. You know, this is actually a really sad topic, and like, I think when I think about the healing that needs to be done in the Black community in general, specifically Black men, surrounding like that hood mentality, it's so deep, man. Like, and it's engraved so deeply within them that it's like, it's hard to even see past it. And I think it ties into what I said earlier about expecting more of yourself.
Yeah.
And not having that, not being shown that. And that's why I say it's so important to teach your children the right ways, because they're going to mimic you. You know, you become a product of your environment. And it's like, if that's all you see when you grow up, when you look on the TV, when you walk outside, when you go to school, what else, like, what else are you going to, you know what I'm saying? What else are you going to want for yourself if not that? And it's like, I believe it's just intergenerational and it's passed down. It's like that same thing of like, you know, my dad's in jail, like, my dad wasn't around. Like, you have to kind of rely on what's around you to, you know, it's either your dad's not around or your dad's in that lifestyle, or you do have or your dad is dead, or you do have a good dad that's trying to influence you better, but maybe the resources are just not there.
Yeah.
And in Black communities, you know, they're more poor. Like, there's not enough community centers. There's not enough programs. There's not enough support to influence Black boys to do other things other than be in the streets. Why do we not have, you know, like, free programs around the city? Why do we, like, I know, yeah, sure, I'd have to do my research, but why is it so hard to get to the resources? Why is it gate kept?
Yeah.
You know, why are there not enough supports around in the communities that, you know, it's like I could just walk into a center and like be able to get support for my Black son. I want to enroll him in this. I should be able to do that.
For men, it's like so much harder than women, and I say this because
I agree.
We can walk into rooms and do different things and find different things for ourselves, and there definitely is more programs, I would say, for women than there is for men when it comes to these type of things.
Yes.
But I think it is also so important that even if you guys are indulging in this type of behavior and lifestyle, you have to understand that it cannot be for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when it's for a lifetime, when your mentality is, this is what I'm going to do forever because I have to provide, you are going to end up in jail or dead. Like, when you've been chasing the same thing all your life, guess what? That same thing's chasing you right back. That same thing is following you right back. So that's either going to be somebody doing something to get you caught, or you doing something to get yourself caught.
Yeah.
Or you indulging with the wrong people and you ending up dead, whichever way that is. But if that's the lifestyle, if that's the outcome you want, by all means, But don't think that you're untouchable because you've been doing this for a long time. That's just not, that's not how life works. People backdoor people, like, there's just so many different things to think about as to how you can either end up caught or dead. Like, honestly. So I just feel like that's not to say don't indulge. I don't think you should, but I understand the life of providing and needing to provide.
And it's like that fast money mentality.
Yeah,
like, I need it now.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
But we have to be investing in something. This has to be for a reason. Like, a lot of you men have kids.
Yeah.
And you should want to be there for your kids, however long that looks. You should want to be there. You should be wanting to want better for yourself to want better for them.
100%.
Okay, because having fast money for life is not going to do much if you can't even be around. Or you have to be careful of who you bring around your family and protection and all that. It's too much. It's too stressful.
Like living.
Start investing. Start doing something.
Yeah.
Something. Put money into a business.
Literally, I'm like, there's so much. There's so much.
Yours.
Yeah.
Like,
you see a business. Like, I want to invest in your business.
Partnership,
like
something.
Partnership, or I get 5% of the profit as an investor. Like, do something with that money.
I'm telling you.
Make the money clean. Figure out a way to make it clean.
Clean, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, sure.
For sure.
And I think the next thing is like the need to show that you have it.
Oh God, please stop. No, seriously.
No.
Please stop. I don't want to see the money. I don't want to see the change.
That's
the
what
designer.
I'm saying. Like, yo,
that doesn't even make sense with the outfits. Please.
You're telling me you're dripped down in designer. You got on a green Gucci hat with a purple Burberry tracksuit and an orange Louis belt. It's like, learn to dress first of all, but secondly, it's like, we don't need to know you have it. It's okay. Do something. You're telling me you spent over $1,000 on your outfit, and you're sleeping on a blow up mattress. It's like your priorities are in the wrong place.
Yep.
And that's for everyone. Like, you don't have to. Not everyone needs to know that you have it like that.
Trust me.
And it's like, that's how you draw attention to yourself.
Now people
know.
Like you got it.
And now people know what you do because people know you don't work. So it's like, how are you getting all this shit?
That too.
It's like, learn to be humble. Learn some humility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put your money in things that matter. Invest in yourself, even if that's what you're doing right now to make money. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, we're not going to knock your hustle.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't always have to just be fast money. Like, you can make money for you. You 100%. Can invest that. You can do something with that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to see a way out, and that's my thing. I'm like, even for women who strip or dance, and there's no judgment, like, if that's what you want to do for the rest of your life,
cool.
But it's like, at the end of the day, if that's something you're saying, like, I want to get out of, like, do something with that money. Make that money make you more money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something you have to do for the rest of your life, like, so that you can actually feel like you have a future in some ways, like, that's outside of that. Like, that's so important. Like, I just want to see everyone exceed and succeed and just do better and be better for themselves. Like, and then for your children, you know what I'm saying, for your parents, if like, you fuck with your parents, like, just all of these things can be done to just better ourselves, because I always say, if you're not changing, you're dying. I don't care what people say. Stagnation is not a good thing.
Yeah, at all.
Like, people saying they're stuck, I get it. Life sometimes happens where it's like, you can't think past whatever you're going through right now, and I get that. But it's like, if you're just stuck for years and years, like, in the same place, like, I message you, you're still doing the same shit a year later. It's like, how are you not growing? How are you not bettering yourself? Like, that's something you should be striving to do. Even if it's something small. Fuck, like, if it's smoking, like, I don't smoke every day anymore. You know what I'm saying? I look for jobs. Like, I'm working a part-time job. Like, it may not be the job you want, but it's like, I'm working my way up. I'm planning to open up a business with this job. I'm going to save up and invest in my business, whatever the case is. Like, we should be doing better.
Yeah. This also makes me think about, like, I feel like as a stripper, listen, I'm not a stripper, so I don't really know the lifestyle, but based on what I hear, based on what I've seen, I feel like in that type of industry, there's so many things that women have to go through that they need to heal from. Same for men.
Oh my goodness.
Same for men. That lifestyle is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. I cannot imagine losing my best friend because of a shootout or a setup, or like I personally cannot. I just can't fathom that. And the fact that you guys go through that type of stuff is like,
and you just keep it pushing.
Hurtful. And therapy is not talked about enough. It is so important. There's free therapies. Just so you guys are aware, there is ways to get free therapy. There are ways to get free therapy. There's also better therapy that you have to pay for, obviously.
But it's like,
there is
with that money you're making,
at this point,
you're telling me you can't take $100 out of your money a month. You paid $50K for that chain. Come on now.
Yeah.
Work on your mental health. It will only benefit you. It will only benefit you. And then in the future, it'll make you a good father.
Yeah.
Or a better son. Or a daughter. You know, like...
That one's so
It's so important. Like, mental health in the Black community is not talked about
enough.
I see it in my family. I see it in my parents. I don't even know. Do we tell them the camera even died? Like,
yeah, the camera died.
So we had to charge it up. But I think where we left off, we were talking about mental health and just how there needs to be transparency within the mental health community surrounding like Black people in therapy and just everything, and like how Black women are treated in hospitals, and like we got to do better.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
we gotta protect our own. You know, and I think we need more allyship as well from like other communities, you know, supporting the Black community for real, and like helping us like break certain stigmas that are like so apparent in like today's day and age. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Honestly, just to sum it up, like we just need more. There just needs to be more exposure to normalizing therapy and getting help and understanding when you're not okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's so okay. And I think even just knowing that it's okay, you don't always have to hold yourself together, have everything, like, together in your life. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, this was long overdue, but...
Super.
You know, we're gonna definitely be trying to, right now we might just be uploading once a month, but we're gonna try and increase that to at least twice a month as it gets warmer out and like schedules line up a bit, especially in April when I'm done school. I'll have a lot more time to just do things.
Right now we're juggling, but
yeah,
we're handling our business.
Yeah, we sure is.
You.
We sure is.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.